relaxing stories of significant others to help you sleep. 1. Last year, I was bedridden after a bad car accident. I had made an offhand comment about craving watermelon and yellow dragon fruit before I drifted back to sleep, thanks to the pain meds. 9 hours later, my husband woke me up with a bowl of watermelon chunks and 2 halves of a yellow dragon fruit. He had spent the entire day searching every grocery store he could, just because I said I wanted it. There was another time he drove over an hour in terrible traffic to bring me a jacket because he thought I might be cold at work. He checks my car's gas tank every day, and if it's low, he tries to take it and fill it up so I don't have to worry about it. Most of the time I beat him to it, but he always checks, just to make sure. The first time we went to a bookstore together, he didn't know how much I love books. I wandered off, and he found me 15 minutes later with a stack of 32 books. I told him I wasn't buying them all, just making notes for later. He started taking photos of each book, front, back, spine, while asking me about them. When I started putting them back, he picked out the ones I sounded most excited about, bought them while I was distracted, and put them in the passenger seat for me to find later. Sometimes I wake up to little love notes on my desk. They always start my day right. I still have every single one of them. He's also a sleep talker. Sometimes when I get up in the middle of the night, he'll whisper that he loves me and thank me for being in my life, even while fast asleep. Other times, it's just gibberish. Or once, he accidentally called me an ex-employee's name and fired me. After the car accident, he even learned how to do fancy nail art just to help me feel pretty again. 2. When I'm having a hard time sleeping, my partner just talks me to sleep. I've always needed to hear someone talk. TV, audiobooks, anything. But it's different when it's him. He talks about the things he's passionate about. The games he plays, movies I haven't seen but he thinks I'd enjoy, funny stories about his friends. Seeing his face light up as he talks makes me feel calm, safe, and loved. And when he's sleeping, he always reaches for me. Sometimes I can't sleep, and I'll just sit in bed, and there he is, holding my arm or my side, or even resting his hand on my head. Looking over and seeing his peaceful face as he holds onto me makes me fall in love with him all over again. When I come home, he always gives me a hug and kiss, asks how my day went, and really listens. When I'm stressed, he spends the whole day being goofy just to make me laugh. He says, "All I want is to make you feel good and see you smile." Sometimes he even plans dinner dates at home. Sets the table, lights candles, pretends to be a server, running from the date role to the server role. He brings the food, cracks jokes, and keeps the whole act going just to make me laugh. I love those nights more than any restaurant we've ever been to. 3. He goes out of his way to do things for me, just because he likes knowing he made me happy. I've been pretty sick for a while, and even though I'm capable of doing things, he insists on doing them so I can rest. He makes or brings me comfort food when he knows it's a rough day. He stayed up with me during the worst nights, so I don't go through it alone. He rubs my legs and feet when I've been standing too long, massages my back when the pain flares up, and even helps me wash up and brush my hair when I'm too weak. No matter how much I protest, he just says it's not a big deal, that he just wants me to be happy and comfortable. Sometimes I worry I take him for granted, but he never lets me feel that way for long. 4. A bride at a wedding sent me a bunch of screenshots of drunk texts and Facebook posts her husband made during the reception. They were all about how much he loved her, how lucky he felt to have her in his life. But what made it so special? He's the most introverted, private person I know. Totally a grumpy old man in a young guy's body. But he didn't delete a single thing when he sobered up. He just smiled, took the teasing from his family, and let it all stay up. Because he loves his wife, and he wasn't ashamed to show it. 5. My partner falls asleep holding my hand, and when my arm gets tired and I try to pull away, he gently squeezes, like he doesn't want to let go. If I slide my hand back into his, he lets out the softest, happiest sigh, still completely asleep. It's such a small thing, but it means everything to me. 6. There's a lot my husband does for me. He does 99% of the cooking and grocery shopping. He vacuums because he knows I hate it. He was amazing when I had surgery last year, and again earlier this year. But my favorite moment happened when we were still dating. We were playing the what if game. What if you went to a different school? What if you took another job? What if we never met? So I asked him, I wonder what your life would have been like if we never met. He looked at me and said, almost immediately, worse. No pause, no hesitation, just worse. That was one of the sweetest things he's ever said to me. 7. It was storming really badly. Thunder, heavy rain, wind pounding against the windows, and I noticed one of my tomato plants had bent over. I must have had a sad look on my face, because he quietly grabbed a huge umbrella and went outside in the rain to save it. He doesn't garden, doesn't know anything about tomato plants. So he stood there, soaking wet, asking me what to do, just because he saw I was upset. He did it because he knew it mattered to me, and that's just the kind of person he